Hi there, everyone. As we move into the fourth quarter of the year, please pay close attention to what I'm about to say if you have any cryptocurrency on hand. In quarter four, you should focus on all of your cryptocurrencies, whether they are Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, or something else. Trust me, there are good reasons for that. In the first place, the market just took a big drop. Well, I believe this was more of a shakeup than anything else. Also, guess what? The market is already getting better. It's clear on the daily charts. Today, we're seeing gains everywhere. Let's be honest. Most of these gains are still pretty small right now. There's no sign that things are going crazy or that XRP is rocketing back to $4 or something. But here's the thing. This is actually a very good sign for what's to come. Bitcoin has been one of the most important things I've been watching. From where it was sitting yesterday, we can see this strong, sudden move. We're back to almost 112,000 now. As it turns out, we hit 112,000 earlier today. When you look at the daily numbers, Bitcoin is up 1.9%. There is nothing crazy about it. Ethereum is going up about 2.15%, and XRP is going up about 3.2%. In other words, these are gains, but they're not huge yet. But this is important. Things are starting to look up for the market, which is a great sign for what's to come. You can really see this bounce from the lows when we take a bigger picture of the whole crypto market. We hit a low point of $3.72 trillion and are now back up to about $3.86 trillion. We just added more than $100 billion to the market value of all cryptocurrencies. Right now, the fear and greed measure is back to about 39. Once more, nothing too exciting here. There isn't a huge change in how people feel or anything. And now let's look at the altcoin market. The RSI is almost at 52, which is right in the middle. Another great sign. It's not just Bitcoin that's getting better. All of the altcoins are making big moves. Right now, this is really promising. An important level of support that we were keeping an eye on has been broken by most of the market. That's what we really want to see. This is what we see when we look at Bitcoin's activity over the last 7 days. So we can see what's going on in the lower time frames. Let me quickly open the 3-hour chart. Now that we're done, Bitcoin did reach a high point of about 112.4K, but it has since dropped to 111.6K. Right now, there is definitely some pretty strong support at this level. In fact, you can see it on both the daily chart and the shorter charts. Many people fought against us in this area before we were able to break out. The good thing about Bitcoin is this. We have our low point here if we look back to August. On top of that, we're now sitting on a higher low. That's good news. Now, taking out those past highs is the most important thing we need to do. It will be clear that we are in a bullish situation if Bitcoin can rise above 118,000 and make a new high. That would mean Bitcoin is going to go up a lot. It would also prove that the recent move's big low point has been reached. So far, this push is really exciting. Also, let me show you the chart for the week. Bitcoin ended the week at about 111,900. I think that's a pretty good ending, without a doubt strong. In this case too, we have a bigger low even though this is a higher time frame, 5 days. I'm definitely going to keep a close eye on this all week. This week, I really believe we'll see a much bigger impulse move, especially since the stock market is back open. Also, stocks got a big boost on Friday. This is how the S&P looked when it closed on Friday. Our price went down with this nice push. And when we see a candle like this, which looks a lot like the one we saw on September 2nd, we usually see a big move follow. On Friday, we closed at about $6,643. From where I stand, I think we'll keep going up from here. I'm aware that the S&P has been overbought for some time now. That's easy to see if you look at the 3-day structure or even the weekly report. Actually, the S&P could still go down a little, but I think we'll be going up this week, which should also give the crypto market a much bigger boost. I think this will happen. In the next few weeks, I think stocks will become a little less interesting. When that happens, all the money that is in stocks will go straight into crypto. This is good news for Bitcoin's next big move, which I think will take us to 130,000 and beyond. As soon as Bitcoin does that, other cryptocurrencies should also start to really take off. While we're on the subject of altcoins, let us quickly look at Ethereum. Ethereum has been moving in a way that looks a lot like Bitcoin over the last week. On the shorter time frames, we can see that there is a big change to the upside. I'll make the 3-hour map bigger so you can see where we hit. We got as low as 4,143 and have been trying to turn this support zone around. This is the very important amount of support we need to flip and hold. What we want is a strong push above this level that keeps it in place. Let's tell the truth now. Until we take back this level for good, it will take some time. As of right now, prices are likely to stay choppy, but this is what I expect. This week, Ethereum should start to make a much bigger push back above 4,200. From there, we can begin to split up again into some of those supply zones between 4,300 and 4,400. If that happens, there is a good chance that prices will rise again to those highs. You can see what I mean by looking at the daily view. Now, let's look at how Ethereum is different from Bitcoin. When you compare it to some of the more recent lows, it's not a higher low. But when you look back to the August lows, it is. This is where the low point was in August, and this is where the low point was in September. To be sure, we need to see a big break over these highs, but for now, we're still in a higher time frame bullish structure. We're not out of the woods yet until Ethereum gets a daily candle close above 4,730. That being said, this is a great sign. Things are definitely starting to move faster now. We want this to keep going all week, which is why we're going to keep a close eye on this chart and pay close attention to every move. We also can't forget about XRP. We can see the start of a big reaction move on the 7-day chart for XRP. And this is right after the big lows we hit not long ago. Let me quickly show you the daily chart while we're still on the subject of those lows. Around the 2.74 level, we found a lot of support. This level is in high demand and there is a lot of support for it. Alright, that makes sense. In the same way as Ethereum though, we want to see a big break over those old highs. We won't start celebrating too soon until the daily light closes above 3.13. But here's the thing, right now you should pay the most attention to quarter 4. Fourth quarter. Also, why am I so excited about Q4? Because this is how Bitcoin has always done during this quarter.